Hello and welcome to the best mods for Xbox PC, where we will be looking at some of the best mods to check out each and every single day, or at least that's the aim. Today we have some kick-ass mods from the Millennium Falcon to Starborn Companions and some really nice outpost building mods. This next mod is insane. Does anyone notice a big difference with the ShipTechnician right now? It looks very different. The culprit is this new mod that we have called the NPC Enhancer Gun by Geological. What this crazy mod does, with a click of a button, you get to edit any NPC in the whole game, including Sarah, any of your companions. We have complete control over customization. This is a game changer again. How many times have you wanted to make NPCs either more attractive or look a certain way? Well, now we have the option to have complete control over everything we want them to look like. So for instance, I'm just going to change some settings here and it's just going to be a wild mess of whatever, but you can get the idea. We can change so many different features, including the hairstyle. Crazy that they don't have many long hair for girls in this game. It's kind of odd. Is there long hair in this for girls? Doesn't what? Okay, we've got one long hair. There we go. But we have hair color, eyes, skin tone. So everything you would kind of expect, as it just brings up your normal character creation editor. And I've managed to create a horrible looking NPC. But most important thing is when you are finished editing is when you're happy with it and you click finish, that you put in the name of your profile. For instance, I can hit escape and it will auto populate the profile name. Might be B or something on Xbox, but it should populate your name automatically. You have to save it as your profile name of your game. Hit confirm, save the changes, yes, and then be amazed as they will reload and they will look exactly like you've just redecorated them. So just a quick example one more time. We'll just say change a few things just so we can make it really obvious. Change the skin tone. There we go. Bing, bada, boom. We're going to go finish. Hit escape. Has a profile name. Do not change anything else except for adding your exact profile name. Hit confirm. Yes. And then the screen will go black and then boom, they will reload. And here he is, a new NPC that is looking how I've created him. So do note some NPCs will disappear and then they'll reload again to another location, but they won't completely disappear. If you do run out of ammo or lose your gun, just reload. Just save the game, reload, and you'll have a new gun with the ammo as well. What's crazy is that you can change characters from missions. There is no real limits that I could see yet. So do note this purely just changes the appearance. It will not change the voices of the NPCs, just appearance. So it looks like you can only do NPCs that are kind of predominant or materially exist in the world, not the random spawned NPCs. So there is some limitations on this that I can see. However, it does give you so much freedom to edit pretty much all the main NPCs you'd ever want to, as the randomly generated ones will come and go. So you really won't want to be editing those. Do note though, if you do change the sexes of some of the NPCs, it does appear that their dialogue or their talking doesn't necessarily work the same. So just something else to note. However, very early stages of this mod, we'll keep our eye on this and we'll keep moving. Next, we have to head to a killer city and head to the Rock, the Freestar Collective main base of operation. And here we have our new companion. Yes, all the Star Wars fans rejoice as we finally have an R2-D2, or I should say a DD-88, our Star Wars companion by wykkydgaming. We can finally recruit a R2-D2 like kind of character. So we can go talk and we can go, you want to come with us? Gonna say beep, 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 beep. And then that's it. You can now get him to follow. He should act just like a normal companion. Now, if you talk to him again, you can tell him to wait. If you say, let me take a closer look, you'll be able to access inventory and store items within R2-D2. So DD-88 will just teleport to you and he can actually go downstairs somehow, which is pretty awesome. If you get too far away though, he will just teleport, as you can see there. Otherwise, it acts just like another companion. So telling him to go somewhere safe will make him return to the Rock headquarters. So keep that in mind. If you get him to return somewhere safe, he will just return to where you found him. However, a terrific mod, DD-88, a Star Wars companion by wykkydgaming. We finally got it. Terrific mod. Let's keep moving. For our first mod, we are heading to Volley Alpha, Neon City, and you should be able to open your ground map and fast travel or get to Sleep Crate. That's where we want to head. We're going to need to talk to this lady here. We'll talk to her and be able to get the Sleep Crate, which we'll be renting. We're heading to the Deluxe Sleep Crate, which this marker will appear upon downloading this mod. And just for a bit more of a visual reference, we are very much next to the Fishmonger's stall, which you may or may not be familiar with, but you should find this on your map, so you should be able to locate it. This is located in your Bayou Plaza, and let's go check it out. This mod is called Street Wrap Sleep Crate, and this is another brilliant decorated space by Mizzo. So you can guarantee it's going to be a top-notch decorated mod. You can see this is no different. It's a tiny little space, but man oh man, does it have a homely feel to it. Like, you would almost want to live here. Plenty of little details and homely touches, and this is all handcrafted, so it's a brilliant option for otherwise very bland and empty space that you have in Starfield. There's a lot more to this than meets the eye, so we'll go through it. And we have this bloody lady. He's just come and sat in my home. Oh, somehow he's just fallen asleep permanently. So what else does this amazing apartment have? Well, for one, it has all the safety information you could possibly need. More importantly, don't have a lot of companions and try fit into this because it gets a bit squishy. But we have plenty of unlimited storage here in the safe, but Mizzo has given us another gift of a ton of rare and quite hard to get uniforms, including the Chunks service uniform. Now, mine aren't loading correctly, but you get the idea. Here's a couple of the other ones just to give you a bit of a better look, but yeah, unfortunately mine aren't loading. Yours most definitely will, so don't worry about that. But I always love how we get these little gifts from Mizzo's decorations. Love this decorated shelf as well, and we also have these rare old school tech. But what's really unique about this is that if we head over to the crate right next to us, just in here into the fishmonger, everything looks as normal, nothing out of place. However, heading into here, we have all the different workbenches you could possibly need or want, and they're all meticulously hidden within the decorations themselves. We even have a Crimson Fleet mission board right here. We also have a cooking station, pharmaceutical, spacesuit, weapon, some infinite storage just on the top there. I really appreciate how now we get a lot of the different workbenches all carefully hidden right in plain sight so they don't look like eyesores. However, what a cool little mod that decorates the sleep crate. Now, you will need to purchase this sleep crate or rent it. There is also one more little detail that we need to have a look at. Is that this vending machine, if you pay 265 credits, probably depending on your perk, we'll get Aurora. However, if we keep clicking on it, you'll notice we'll get a different item. We'll get some Troll 2, which is wild. I love how we have this vending machine now. It's cool to see stuff like this, dispensing different cool items within some of the other decorated spaces, suites, and apartments. So this is the Troll 2, restores 5 health, gives you some oxygen. Then we have the good stuff. We have Aurora, the hell of a drug. But there you have it, Street Rat Sleep Crates by Mizzo, another excellent addition. Very much looking forward to all her other handcrafted spaces that we'll be seeing over the time. Let's keep moving. Now, I did forget to mention that you can also access the decorator. But I mean, being such a tiny space, you'll probably only be adding like little bits and pieces of detail. This next mod adds 12 sci-fi recreations to your very own landing pad that you build at your outpost. The mod is called Iconic Ships by ShipTechnician. Now, for those of you that aren't familiar, ShipTechnician runs a YouTube channel as well and makes some amazing content on Starfield. I highly recommend checking out ShipTechnician's YouTube channel, subscribing, and checking out what he does because he makes some amazing content. So for the time being though, some of these ships will be relatively expensive because it is a little tricky to remove the feature of the pricing of some of these ships. So do keep that in mind. You will have to purchase them as per what the ship would cost based on all the different modules that's used. However, we have a ton of excellent ships to use, and don't mind some of the parts aren't showing just because of my mods. But this is crazy. 12 new ships based off many beloved sci-fi series, worlds, movies, you name it. It's got it all and it's fantastic. I love to see new additions, new ships in Starfield that you can quickly access, buy, and try. Crazy mod. And all you need to do is build your landing pad and access the ship builder. Do note this may conflict with any other mod that adds ships to your landing pad, so be very mindful of that. Now, I thought these ships would cost money, but apparently you can purchase them for 0 credit, so even better. But there you have it, 12 new ships you can buy, try, and fly. Crazy that we're getting more and more mods of custom built ships where we can purchase them. It's also important to note that none of these ships are glitch ships, and I do apologize, I got a mod that's mucking around. I'm trying to figure out which one it is that is making these ships look very incomplete. So bear in mind, this is not a true representation of some of these ships. My apologies, but you get the idea. It's pretty amazing. We got some new ships to try, buy, and fly, all of a click of a button. Love to see these custom ships getting added into Starfield. Terrific. Let's keep moving. We have another terrific building mod from Betamax76, and this one is called Sleep Crate Building Kit. And this is one fantastic mod that he's put together that takes apart basically the neon sleep crates and brings them to your outpost. So you'll be able to muck around with these to sort of construct your own version of those neon sleep crates that you find. Now, there are some prefabricated ones. To access these, you will have to go to your builder in an outpost and go to structures. First category will be your roof, your floors, your doors, all the sort of basic individual pieces of what would make up a neon sleep crate. So using this first category, we could sort of add outdoor. We go across, we could add in the actual sort of living area, so something like this, and then we could go across, rotate this, place that down, and you start to get an idea of how you could put this together yourself. The second category is more or less the same, but it's using the larger frames, doors, and rooms. So you'll be able to pretty much construct a very similar sort of layout, but you'll just be working with the larger components. So for example, say if you wanted to build this functioning neon sleep crate, which we previously covered in the last video, you could do that using this mod now. So now it gives you the basically full control to build something like that. And to build something like that, you would go back into your builder to your structures, and then you'd go your large frame with foundation. Now do note it is a little bit finicky, so you will have to muck around with it, but this is just to give you a little bit of a run through just so you get an idea. But it's pretty neat that we get this kind of control now, so we can kind of build this wherever we want. I won't go through and build the whole thing, but that just gives you an idea. What's really handy is in the last category, you will have the prefab versions. So these will be much easier for many people to use. It is a bit simpler to get certain buildings constructed using this category, particularly the sleep crate with foundation, which we can, once you've placed it down, you can actually extend the sleeping crate further, so you could kind of make it much bigger. Basically places one single unit down, but then you can pretty much keep clicking on it and it will add multiple. You may just have to rotate them to make them accessible. But there you have it, another really neat mod from Betamax, adding even more things to build at your outpost. Outposts are getting inundated with more and more objects and things to build with. It's certainly looking up for your outpost builders. We've got a new update for the Matilija Aerospace, which is the version 2.05. This comes packed with a bunch of changes. Now I won't go through all the changes, but I just wanted to touch on this just so you're aware of the updates, so you should re-download his mod if you've got it installed or if you want to check it out. So from my understanding, this new version comes with these incredible MHABs. They're 2 stories. There is also a 1-story version. There's also a new battle station aft weapon hold, and there's quite a few other changes, but there's been a big effort to improve the performance of his mod, as these new HABs have quite a high polygon count. So he's been trying to reduce them and get it a lot smoother. There is a bit of a noticeable performance hit, so just be mindful. You're going to be using a lot of these HABs. You probably do want to limit your use for now. However, we will quickly check the insides of one of the MHABs just to give you an idea of what it looks like inside. These are incredible. They look amazing, and it really gives you so much different flexibility and new ways to build with HABs like this. There's also some improvements for the weapon snapping. So for people on Xbox, it should get a bit easier over time to work with some of these weapons. If you're not familiar with the weapons, you should definitely consider checking this out, because there's some of the coolest weapons that very much fit the style and overall look of many of the other modules. They look very futuristic with a splash of some very old school weaponry. There's also been a lot of work implementing nav meshes and improving the lighting. So a lot of work is going into this new update. So it's a big thanks for that, which is huge for us all. If you are into shipbuilding, I highly recommend, if you're into shipbuilding and you like Matilija's mods, I highly suggest you follow him on YouTube, just so you can get the latest updates straight from his mouth as he goes through it in a lot more detail. So you'll be able to understand precisely what the changes are, as well as what to look forward to, as he's constantly updating the mod. I'm going to do something funny. I'm just going to attach it to my Slapping Planets build. Okay, there you have it. Let's go check these HABs out. Now, just to give you an idea of what they look like on the outside, you can get a good idea of just having a look here, but they look superb. I love the design and overall look of these. We'll quickly go check the insides just to give you a good idea. We'll check this one first. You can see that these come empty, so you'll be able to decorate them yourselves, but it comes with a flight of stairs. So technically you can get rid of ladders completely with some of these builds. Using a lot of these new HABs and other modules, it's pretty unreal, but it looks fantastic. Has good lighting too, but there is notes that the lighting will be improved over time. So that's the smaller MHAB. Now we'll check the bigger MHAB. Now look at this. It's got a dual staircase. You can come up from either side up to the second floor. You have plenty of windows. It just looks incredible. Now having these fully decorated, I would love to see someone do that. It'd be awesome to get like some of these HABs pre-decorated and uploaded for other people to enjoy, because that would be crazy. But this certainly gives you an idea of the sheer scale and size of this. I mean, this is pretty much a whole ship. You'd be able to make some really nice little builds and just have one of these almost as your main HAB. You could put dividers in and have everything in this one giant HAB. The cool thing is that you have so many different connection points, and the doors are pretty intelligent from my understanding. So you have plenty of ways you can connect and have this set up. I think there's three doorways at the top and bottom, and then there is just the one connection at the front here. Possibly two, might be two actually, just on the side here. Yeah, so two connections. A terrific update. I look forward to following this more as we go along, but I just wanted to let you all know 2.05 has recently been released, and it's definitely worth checking out. There may be a performance hit. It could just be the version I have because I'm using the Nexus version, but you can see this was only last updated on July the 11th. So very new, extremely good work again. Let's keep moving. We have another immersion mod. And this one will add these geological location randomly to your points of interest. Important to note that these points of interest will not show up on your map. You have to go to the surface, and then you might be able to get a better idea of finding them, but I don't believe you'll find them any other way but exploring. So this adds a really nice touch. But let's go into a bit more detail about this mod. This terrific mod is called Unnatural Natural Geological Location, a grind terror point of interest mod. And what it's going to do is it's going to add a fair few new points of interest for you to explore. Now, these are purely visual and offer a unique way to experience the terrain and new points to just explore, but mainly just to change the landscape that we've come so accustomed to. This project is in its infancy, so expect a lot more of these points of interest. But these kind of mods are fantastic because it starts to break up what we've seen over and over and over again. All these points will be handcrafted, and these are random player map points of interest, so they're not star map points of interest. Hence why I meant that you won't be able to find these when looking at the globe. You only have to find these by exploring. All these points of interest will be added into your point of interest generator, so you should be able to find them scattered throughout the universe on pretty much on many various different planets. Now, for now, these points of interest could be trees, shrubs, rocks, resources, all handcrafted to look like something probably similar to this, but it's going to change. There's quite a few different points of interest to check out. This mod is by It's Me Paulie B, and the plan is to add creatures, possible loot, and maybe some other features down the track. But let's just have a quick look around. You can get an idea of the sheer scale of some of these, and they're just going to be nice to add a bit of variation to the terrain. But I really like this mod. This is something fantastic to add. Now, there are a few things we need to quickly check off before you go ahead and install this. Now, the nav meshes on this are reasonable. There are a few little areas where you may struggle to get around, so just be mindful of that. But otherwise, it's perfect. And depending on the planet you are on, it's going to have a stunning view from some of these locations. But I just wanted to give you an idea of the sheer scale. That's us on the top there. It's a giant rock, this one. Let's go over what you need to know before you download this mod. As mentioned, these locations will be tagged as geological locations on your map. So that's how you know you found one, which is different to the geographical location. At least my understanding, they're two different things. Now, we've covered this before, but if you don't know, there'll be two versions of this mod. I highly recommend you get the PIP version. What does PIP version mean? PIP is referring to the Point of Interest Integration Project. This mod is pretty much going to be a must for everyone looking to download mods that are going to be mucking around with points of interest wherever they are. I highly encourage any mod creators to also use this framework. This framework adds 256 slots to the world generation. This will help avoid conflicts, making these kind of mods much more stable and working well together, allowing us to have tons of points of interest to explore. Now, it's important to note that this is a prerequisite for many mods. It's worth just having if you're getting into downloading some of these other mods. And do note, this PIP version will not work without the Point of Integration project. However, if you don't want to worry about that, you can elect to go the non-PIP version and just get the Unnatural Natural Geological Location. So those are your options. A fantastic mod. And here's some of the other locations you could scout out just to give you an idea, but they're fantastic. Can't wait to see more and more of these. The world is getting so much more vibrant, richer, with many more points of interest to come. Let's keep moving. For the next mod, we're not going to stray too far from the location we're just at. And we're going to go into our decorations and look at this duck apocalypse. So we're going to place the duck nicely on the bed. Then walking up to the duck, we're going to press E or A. And what this crazy mod does is it generates a ton of random ducks. Look at this. It's a bit of a funny mod called DarkStar Community Lolz, and it adds a duck that will spawn more ducks. Now, not only do we have ducks, but we have a few other items to check out. This one's called Sarah's Tears, but this is funny. Also from DarkStar's mod. And pressing this will spawn a 6-pack of special beer. If you just keep pressing it, it's going to keep us spawning beers. Oh, and the beers actually give you some stats What? So here it is, DarkStar's Sarah's Tears Imperial Stout. Oh, this is too funny. So 50 plus damage resistance for 30 minutes. What? 2% XP gain for 30 minutes? 25% O2 recovery. Oh, this is too funny. Introducing DarkStar's Cast Age Imperial Stout. Made from barley, hops, wheat, and herbal tea. Hydrated, fresh Sarah Morgan's tears. And spiked with a small dose of vitamins and chem. The only drink you need. Too good. We need a vending machine of these permanently in decorations. This is awesome. We also have the Let's Get Fat. You can only place one of these, so watch out. It spawns some burgers. DarkStar's Chorizo Beef Slider, and it restores 5 health and treats all affliction. What? There is one last thing we need to check out, but before we do that, just note these can all be built at your ship, outpost, or anywhere you can basically decorate. And the creator behind all the DarkStar mods is called wykkydgaming. Absolute legend. And this mod is kind of like a thank you to all the people that have supported him and also watch him on YouTube and check out his Discord. So I highly recommend checking out his YouTube and Discord. I'll put the link in the description. And the final blessing bestowed upon us from wykkydgaming is Ducksplosive. Now this one, it's going to spawn a duck grenade for us. So we'll build a few of these and you have to grab them. Just got to be careful you don't get confused with all the other ducks. If you go into your grenades, you will see the duckinator. Let's give this a go. You can quick slot it as well, and you can throw it just like a grenade, and it's gonna be one hell of an explosion. Let's have a look. Hey, there we go. There you have it. You have some duck grenades. A lot of fun. wykkydgaming has a great sense of humor, and this mod is called DarkStar Community Lolz, and it's a nice thank you to the community for the support and help. Definitely continue to do so. His mods are top notch. Excellent stuff. Let's keep moving. Here we have the N4 Assault Rifle from Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. This is another excellent creation port by Stovey. Originally, this mod was made by Sabbath. The NV4 Assault Rifle. It's a pretty good weapon overall. I cannot attest to the feeling to see if it is very similar to Modern Warfare. However, the model does look superb. The flashes are aligned pretty much with the muzzle. Here is the reload animation quickly. Now, the great thing about this weapon is that it comes with tons of modifications. For instance, the barrel, we have the option of a standard barrel and the long barrel. Long barrel adding a modification that's from Call of Duty. For the scopes, we got a nice selection of a reflex scope, short scope, medium scope, and of course your iron sight. Muzzle, you have the compensator, muzzle brake, and suppressor. Suppressor looks fantastic on this. Now, my assumption, I haven't played Call of Duty for many years, but I'm assuming all these upgrades are related to the actual NV4 Assault Rifle from Call of Duty. Let me know in the comments if that's not the case. For your grip, you just have the standard and tactical. Do note the tactical adds pretty much a different looking skin. I think that's the flat line, perhaps. Looks quite a bit different. For the magazine, we have plenty of choices. We have the drum, armor piercing, the gut buster rounds, large magazine, white hot rounds, tactical. Internals, we have all the expected upgrades as well. Trigger, power, velocity. We also have the option to go semi-automatic or fully automatic on the receiver. However, once the weapon is fully upgraded, how awesome does that look? This is a very nicely detailed weapon. Looks like a much higher polygon count than the last weapon. It looks bloody beautiful. When it comes to performance, it performs well in all scenarios. Particularly once it's upgraded, it has a very, very nice feel. Very little kickback, and it has superb range. Really does cover pretty much all the different scenarios you can think of. And with the silencer, it is extremely silent. And with the huge mag, you end up just having lots of ammo to play around with. Just quickly show you the reload animation from first person. The first person view of this weapon is incredible. Certainly gives you the look of a Call of Duty weapon. Now, I did forget to mention this is a replacer mod, so this will be replacing the Maelstrom. So you will have to keep that in mind. If you have any other mods that replace the Maelstrom, you will have to consider turning those off or deleting them, disabling them to install this mod. I really like this as a replacer for the Maelstrom. What would be really nice to see is a crimson skin for this, giving it the crimson colors, as that would be very fitting seeing them carrying such a weapon. It's a terrific mod. You won't be disappointed with this gun. Very solid replacer for the Maelstrom, completely customizable, and overall another great addition to the ever-growing list of excellent weapons to try on Xbox and PC. Let's keep moving. Demolition Perk Overhaul, and it gives a much needed damage boost and radius boost to all the explosives, which equals a lot of fun. So by the time you get to rank 4, you do 100% more explosive damage. The explosions have 3 times larger radius, and the most critical aspect to this mod that I love is the Bombardier weapon upgrade at your workbench. Good thing about this mod is it gives a lot more relevance to grenades and other explosives, giving them a much needed boost in my opinion. Really does make them feel much more worthwhile, particularly grenades. You can see the explosions won't change so much in terms of animation, but the overall damage will be huge, and it will definitely do a lot more of a radius effect, doing a good area of effect. So they're definitely going to feel it. Now, where it really shines is when you use something that has a projectile. It does a lot of damage, and you'll really notice the effects of it, and it's going to be a lot more fun to get around with. Any of the weapons that use explosives going to pack a ton more punch. So really nice and fun mod. Excellent to use if you enjoy explosions and think they need a little bit of a buff. Now, where the demolition perk really shines is once you reach rank 4, you do get the weapon upgrade Matilija. And what this upgrade does is it gives you a weapons upgrade that you can apply to 11 different weapons such as the drumbeat, micro gun, Beowulf, mag shear, and a few others. But every 15 shot will shoot a rocket. When you combine it with something like the mag shear, it becomes a very potent combination. This combination of adding a rocket to something like the mag shear is a lot of fun. It will randomly every 15 shot just launch a huge projectile. Just to give you an example, this is what it'll look like. When you attach it to something like the mag shear that fires so fast, you will find a rocket round very quickly. It's a really crazy mod. It's a lot of fun. Worthwhile trying. Thank you very much for watching. If you get anything out of this, consider liking, subscribing, commenting. Let me know what you think about some of these mods. You can let me know what mods you'd like me to cover, or if there's anything on your mind, just drop it in the comment. Thanks again, and peace.